Everything is going extremely well.
And now, showtime.
Hey! All right, everybody. We just I got all the decks from the Meta Performance Summit. If you weren't spending $1 million a month or more and invited, you didn't get access to all this stuff. This is all the workbooks, all the decks from the top experts, all the proven strategies for reels, creators, and results. So we're giving this all away today. If you want to check it out, it's disruptorschool.com/meta summit. Go there for free. What we're going to do right now is actually go through all of the presentations. Okay. We're going to go through them all as much as we can in the next hour. Hi. We got a little Charlie girl over here too. She might join us. Anyway, please go here and check this out. I'm giving it all away for free because you deserve it. Okay. So this is all the leaks, all this stuff. Just like, let's go get it. That's what this is all about. Now, with that being said, let's get into some of the stuff that we're going to get. What are we getting into? Let's get into decks, starting with the Meta Performance Summit. Okay. Now, this is, like I said, these are all of the decks. We're going to do a quick little review of some of these things. And I'm going to give you some of the commentary on it as well, so that you can hi, sweetie. So that you can know what to think and what not to think about this stuff, or at least have my opinion on it. Let's start with the 3 keys for AI success. One of the biggest things I want to point out here is that this AI success is not like generative AI nonsense. This is like we are talking here about how they are using the platform with artificial intelligence to make better decisions for creative, for performance, for like everything. Now, they did go over some of what it looked like over the past few years. And when they showed the 2025 update, up front is going to be myself, Dara Denny, Ben Heath, and Caleb Krause, Mr. Paid Social. And there's a bunch of these fun little things we can skip past all this nonsense. And hey, look, they're tripling your investment. Grain of salt. Okay. Now, AI shouldn't just be effective. It should be yours. This is how they're actually using the artificial intelligence to drive results in your business. First one, Andromeda. Andromeda is helping to make sure that the right people see the right ads at the right time. And this is Meta working with NVIDIA, Grace Hopper chips. Like, this stuff is incredibly powerful. And so the big update here is that the technology that they're using behind the scenes has had a significant and dramatic upgrade. And also something that's interesting. Thank you, honey. Also, something that's interesting is how they're using this to control. Here you go, sweetie. Control and customize. It is not just generative AI for like an image of a hippo hiking or whatever, right? Like, it's so much more than that. And we saw examples of your ability to search for trending reels on hairstyles, or even talk to ads, having actual like conversations, like a voice box comes up and an AI chat assistant salesperson closing the deals, which was crazy. Now, of course, we have some of these slides talking about how ASC is fantastic with value optimization. We're actually going to get more into the value optimization stuff here because they fundamentally changed what it looks like. And I want to talk to you about that. By the way, I'm moving through this stuff quick because, yeah, we've got 15 slides in 60 minutes, and you're going to get all of this 15 presentations in 60 minutes, and you're going to get all of this stuff. I just really want you to know the takeaway. First thing, high quality data. First thing is the high quality data and aligned measurement and creative volume and diversity, giving them really good quality information. And this means stop relying on things like Northbeam and Hyros to extrapolate information that's valuable, but actually tell the machine what is valuable to you. That aligned measurement, they got really into understanding the profitability of an offer. And you will see in this repeatedly how much contempt the platform has for people who still focus on cost controls and last click. Like, you have to actually want to bring value, or you're going to be left in the dust, because none of the new tools will support that out of date thinking. Now, getting into high quality data. This is basically how it can open stuff up. One of these was the omni-channel ads. So you can run ads on Facebook to drive sales in stores. Also, lead ads with CRM integrations, being able to not just say, oh, we got a lead and it's going to go to our CRM, but actually be able to say, what is the value of the lead? Let's maximize the number of conversion leads. It's not just a phone number. It's not just an email. It's somebody who we think is actually going to be very valuable. And you can even attach dollar amounts and margin volumes to view content, add to cart, subscribe events, initiate checkouts, and custom events. Now, I've been telling you to do this custom event stuff with custom conversions for years. They're now making it native, which is awesome. Getting into aligned measurements. They drove this point over and over and over again. It was AI, incrementality, and creators. Yeah, that was the overall message from the stage. And a lot of this is understanding your source of truth and Meta's source of truth. Understand that Facebook isn't taking credit for sales that are happening. That is just an obsolete way of thinking. You have to begin to understand that all ads on all platforms talk to each other. All advertisers for any offer and any web page are talking to each other. And the machine is seeing what everybody in the same market is doing. So you have to have an advertiser-defined source of truth. And in the MBA program, we call this our ecosystem doc. We've been doing that for 5 years now, but they're really trying to drive that point home. And we'll get to more of that here in a bit. Also, creative volume and diversity. What I really want to drive home here is it's not just make 1,000 ads. It's that your ad should feel different. And that the diversity of the way that your ads feel and who they talk to will bring you in different individuals. This is how you drive incrementality in your business. Also, it's really important that these are the best practices for brands that are spending $1 million a month, $1 million a week. I was talking to somebody that spent $500,000 a day. The reason that that's really important context is because you don't need to be doing all of these things to get to the place where you want to go. That's just not the way it works. Now, they've also called out this thing where 4 million advertisers are already using generative AI creative tools. And I'm one of them, although I very rarely take generative AI tools, the meta native generative AI, and put that directly into my ad account. What I love is using that to look into somebody's ad library and have the machine tell me ads or designs or concepts that it thinks will work for my audience. That is an easy way to just have the machine do all the work. Have the machine tell you what your audience wants to see based off of what's working for everybody else, and then take that to your team and make it higher quality. And this is where it's not just about being effective, but it's about the personalization for your business and all of this other stuff they're getting into. So again, we're going to get into all this other stuff. Let's get into it here. This is something that I think was incredibly powerful. This was the values workbook. Okay. And you're going to get this. So if you go to, again, disruptorschool.com/meta summit, I'm just going to drop that on the screen because I feel like we're going to need to make sure that this is available. All right. So disruptorschool.com. That's right. There we go. Boom. Boom. Awesome. Get all the decks free at disruptorschool.com/meta summit. We'll keep going back there. All right. Now, optimize for the outcomes that matter the most. This was a regular, reoccurring theme. And so they're talking about value optimization here. And so they actually give you the best practices step by step on how you should be testing for value optimization. And I'll tell you that value optimization now is so much different than it was a year ago. And we'll get into more of that later. This is just what your catalog health check should be, your pixel and conversion API health checklist, incremental attribution and impact on performance, understanding if you're going to go with incremental attribution, which we're going to dive into here in a little bit. And I want to tell you, I think incremental attribution is one of the worst named tools that they've had because it's actually so much more than that. It's not saying, well, we think these sales would have happened. It is a targeting structure. It is a delivery platform adjustment. Luke, if you want to get this PDF, if you want to get all of these PDFs, you can get them for free at disruptorschool.com/meta summit. I'm giving them all away. There's 15 in there that you'll get for free. Just you sign up. I get your email address so I can mail you a zip file. That's basically it. I was toying around with making it just something in a Google Drive, but then I would have to approve every single person. And I don't feel like spending my weekend approving hundreds of people having access to a folder and then getting into my Google. It was a mess. So there you go, buddy. I hope that helps with your answer. How do you get the PDF? You go to this site. Awesome. Now, all that to be said, let's keep going. I want to talk to you a little bit about how this all works. Okay, so let's get let's get all the way to the front. Yeah. So first thing, we start with creative, and we talk about the creator stuff. And so let's start at the beginning. This is the first deck in it. This is your Reels workbook. Okay, now they gave us a presentation to be a creator for the day. And this is a brief. Now, this is a terrible brief. And we actually have a video coming out soon where I break down why this brief is really bad and what you should be doing instead. And these are a lot of the guidelines that we have for what you want to do in trying to bring in good creators. Now, the cheat code here, what was not said, is that Facebook is giving preferential treatment to ads that come with creators. I will stand by that. I saw the same thing happen when they did advantage shopping. I saw the same thing happen when they did catalog ads. When there is something that is native and new and disruptive to the best practice, the machine will give you preferential treatment, lower CPMs, higher quality inventory. You're buying better people for a lower price by leaning into the new tools. This is what they're really leaning into with the new creator ads. Partnership ads. It feels like influencer whitelisting. That's basically what they're getting to, but it's so much more. So this is an entire deck on how to arrange your brief so that you can get the absolute best practices, absolute best results. And this is literally like what you could copy and paste and send to them. Like, it is that powerful. The templates, how to scale, end-to-end communication and support. All of that here, copy and paste your way to success. Now, breaking through on Reels, knowing that your creators are probably going to be making Reels content. One of the things we did was like guess the real reel and understanding what goes into a reel. Now we've got the safe zones. One of the big takeaways we saw out of all of this is the change in the language. This is the first time I've seen them say design for sound on. Now, my assumption is that sorry, little girl's back there underneath the thing, and it's killing me. My assumption is that they know more people are viewing with the sound on. The reason I think that happened is twofold. One, I think people are just normalized just having sound on in public anyway, or just so many more people have the AirPods. Like, sound off is just not the default experience anymore. So design with sound on for all of your stuff. Keep things in the safe zone. When you comply with these guidelines, the results that you're getting are so much better than other ones. And so we can play a little game here real quick. Now, I wish I could, because I don't actually have the video files in this presentation. But if you were to just look at these two videos and take a look at how they're being phrased and which one is an actual reel and which one isn't. The one on the right is the real reel. The one on the left is not. You can see that it's cropped. This brand, this coloring is not in the brand. If you notice, this is text. It's in the safe zone, and there's a bunch of dead area over here. The point is they're telling a story in the available space. Now, when we get to these kinds of ads between guess the real reel, and I wish I could play these videos for you, but I can't. If you look at these two, which one is the real reel? It's the one on the left. If you notice, this one, while it's gorgeous and the video is fantastic, this text is below the safe zone. It is below the fold. This is obfuscated by the brand name, especially if there's more stuff here. This will convert 10 to 30% worse than that one will. all other things being equal. Then we get into the recap of the essentials. It's making sure that you're in a 9:16 video with audio where the text is in the safe zone. They are going to suppress the delivery of content that does not match this. It's not just that people like it. They literally don't want to give people the opportunity to be unhappy, which is crazy. Now, of these in here, if you want to play along, drop it in the comments section below. Which one on the left or the right? Which one is the real? And again, you only need a screenshot to know which one is right and which one is wrong. And it's a little subtle, but it's also very obvious when I tell you. All right, so go ahead, comment below if you want to play along here real quick. I'm going to take a sip of this coffee. All right, here we go, everybody. Which one is the real? It's the one on the right. Why? This is native to Instagram. This logo is going to be appearing in the upper right-hand corner. This is obfuscated and not native. This is not obfuscated. There's nothing on top of the text or anything else. This is native to Instagram. It's going to perform better because the machine is not going to penalize you for having these overlaps. Basically, put it this way. If you have text on the overlap, like we saw here, where this is over the lap, on the overlap, or here where there's square against the full size. If that is what you are putting out, that ad will see a higher CPM and see lower quality individuals. Now, that might be okay. It might be the perfect ad for that space. And understand that some ads are designed for different places. But if you're trying to design for Reels, make it native there and it'll do so much better. They're saying 16% higher improvements in CPAs, 13% ROAS. You know me and ROAS. We're going to just move right along past that. So mastering the creative essentials is really, really important. And they asked us to kind of go through some stuff. And I'm not going to get us too deep down in here. But we also have a creator briefing guide. You can scan this QR code. You don't have to. I already did. That was the one. That was the deck right before this one. So you get this all included for free when you go to Meta Performance Summit. Okay, when you go to the disruptorschool.com/Meta Summit. And what I loved about all of this was saying how partnership ads are really transforming what they're doing. They're getting it to people who are ready to click. They're showing it to people who are ready to buy. The reason these numbers, 53% higher click-through rate, 19% reduction in CPAs, the reason this is happening is because they're also cheating. And that's totally fine. They're showing it to people who want to see this stuff. If you're not using creator ads, you are paying too much to reach worse people. And again, one more time, just on the metrics here, CPCs, CTRs, through plays, when you're using partnership ads for Reels to get better engagement, this is the kind of stuff that we're seeing. So I really recommend that you begin to check out the Creator Marketplace or go to my buddy Danil at Incense. And just to kind of get a little bit of some of the best practices here, you can the kinds of content that work here: high performing videos, product and service focused, diverse and inclusive, and aligned with your campaigns. I mean, if you give the machine this type of stuff for them to achieve their business objectives by giving their customers the things that they want to see, you're gonna reach better people for cheaper. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. And if you diversify your creative concepts, you'll speak to multiple people. This is what we're talking about with creative diversity. It's not get 30 ads. It's 3 different ads that look and feel different. And if you use the new partnership ads feature, they really recommend creator testimonials, adding the catalog ad stuff to your ads, partnerships with one partner or others, and also leaning into the AI optimizations. I personally don't like the AI optimizations that much, but hey, I'm just here to tell you what my opinions are about everything so that you can get all of the decks. All right, so set yourself up for success by implementing the best practices and make sure you're using partnership ads, and connect with your Meta team if you want to get any funded tests and qualified packages, which some of you might be able to do, some of you might not. Now, leaning more into it, leveraging the creator connection for business results. This is why creators are still a really big deal. And in fact, I don't think they're still a really big deal. I think that actually using creators is the single most impactful effort any business can be making in the next year. And that's my biggest moving away from cost controls, moving away from last click and leaning into creators is that's the 3-pack punch to get the absolute best out of your content. And it's just every single place where you're using Instagram native with reels and creators, you're going to be getting better results than you would otherwise. And whether it's from trusted advisors, people who are experts for your audience, and creative entertainers, like these are all of the things you need to be focused on. Now, Kim asked, what's the price range? Kim, some of these people will do it for free. If you go on Incense, you might find people that are $50 a pop. I do creator stuff with Meta and with, I've done it with a lot of people. I am not cheap. The point is, everybody is different. If you were going to spend $1,000, I would rather, if you were to spend $1,000 to try to promote your business, I would love for you to find 10 creators for $50. They give you they give you an asset that you can use 3 different ways and light that up with $500 of ad spend. That's going to be exponentially better than you just taking guesses. So just some context there for you. Great question, Kim. Love that. Now, Meta is also crafting the entire creator marketplace. Some of this you're going to have access to. Some of this you will not yet, but they have an entire creator marketplace. If you are using the marketplace, editing in their native app, and using the marketplace personalized recommendations, you can also use it to find trends. And this was going to help you get to the best quality creators natively. You can also boost this stuff in new ways that we haven't seen before. There are Facebook Live partnerships, which is really interesting. And you're going to be able to say, for instance, is this coming from the creator? Is this coming from me? Is it a collaboration? You're going to be able to make that setting in a way that we kind of seen go away. And you can use dynamic options so that the machine will choose which one is best for you. Like, this is really, really interesting and powerful stuff. Girl, hi. Okay. Hi. Okay. There we go. Let's keep going, sweetheart. We're on page 6 or 7 of 20 of like slide of deck 5 of 15. So we got to keep moving. Okay. So creators are driving actions through reels. Like, this is some of the time being spent. I think these are just fun numbers. It doesn't really matter, but just stuff for you to kind of take a look at. That's why you have the deck. And they also did a little bit on the Edits app. I think it's interesting. I think it's valuable for you to use. I think it's basically their version of CapCut, and it doesn't suck. I got to tell you, I was really impressed with it. Now, doing more with your partnership ads, like I said, on the creator side, the same goes true with the partnership. If you are using the tools that they're trying to promote, you are going to get a better price. Okay. And again, brand lift and reduction in acquisition costs. One of the biggest hacks that I saw this was, if you're selling a food product, don't go to a food blogger. Go to like a mommy page or like a fitness person or somebody that does DIY crafting. Going to people whose audience is outside of your core target market is the easiest way of reaching new people who are interested in buying from your product, and the easiest way to get incremental lift in your marketing efforts. It makes complete sense. I wish I thought of it, and it's brilliant. And I'm going to be doing it with a lot of brands over the next few months. And so again, there's a lot in here. I'm not going to go and read each individual slide for you. I'm actually going to be doing that in future videos. So stay tuned to the channel. I'm going to walk through each one of these things for you. But again, if you want to get access to this and all of the decks here, go to disruptorschool.com/meta summit, and you'll get all of the decks here for free, as well as some other fun stuff. Now, this is what's really interesting. They're attaching the catalog ads and the shop functionality. And here's what the creator content like marketplace looks like. And this is also currently in testing, so it's probably going to look a little bit different for you. But you're going to be able to basically see who created the content. What is some of the caption? Are you authorized to run ads? Is it a photo? Is it a video? Are there any issues with this content? What's the campaign objective that you're running? When was this published? This was published on my birthday. Nice. And you can find and evaluate new creators in your space by simply just going to the marketplace, which is really awesome. I'm actually going to be doing more of this myself, and we'll be sharing more of this later on, but all of that to come. Now, trends in the Instagram marketplace is also really great. If you can make content quickly, this is a great place for you to just find trends and just stay tuned there for more information. So your strategies is tap into existing relationships, add partnership ads to your existing campaigns, and use the creator marketplace. Now, getting into my favorite part, maximizing what matters. Let's get into measurement, data, optimization. Let's just get out of the conversation that anybody should ever be caring about last click and the liability of cost controls and all of that other stuff. And it was so refreshing to be in a room with people who actually know what they're talking about and their level of contempt that they have for like common thread. And like I was at a table with like a dozen people, half of them have been sued by common thread in the last 10 years. Like it is crazy, the cult built around somebody that found a good sales pitch and is basically providing for the family by making it more difficult for other people to provide for theirs. It was crazy. So here's all of the data to continue to move away from those low integrity operators who are destroying people's businesses as a way to pay their bills. Measure what matters. Incrementality is the North Star. Very clearly, if you are measuring for cost controls, you are by definition being less incremental in your marketing effort. You're going after low-hanging fruit. That is not net new people. You cannot do both in the same effort. You can have two separate campaigns with two different business objectives. That's totally fine. Now, one of the things we have to understand too is that people are using multiple platforms at once. There are people that are listening to podcasts and searching through social media. There are people like me that are on Instagram while watching television. The point is, people are not relying on clicking on an ad to make a purchase. Oh, like when they were getting down to it, it's over 50% of people of a certain age group are buying products without clicking on the ad. The last click attribution model is dead. It was obsolete 10 years ago, and it is completely dead now. And so we have to focus on a new source of truth. And I really appreciated it, how much Meta was leaning into this, because I'll be very clear with you. They know, I'm going to get rid of this real quick, okay? They know that the rate of growth on Facebook and Instagram and Threads is peaked. It will never be growing as fast as it used to. That means there's fewer new people to show ads to. They also know that the amount of money being spent on ads is going to continue to grow faster and faster and faster every year. Every year, more money gets spent on ads, especially on digital. So you have a increasing demand against a supply that's not growing nearly as fast. Now, back in the day, Facebook used to say, we are driving this many sales. We're the reason that it's happening. I think it's, to quote Ben Heath, when we were sitting down editing a podcast with him that I did with Ben and with Dara and Caleb, that'll come out as soon as I'm done. Ben said he thought it was really brave of Meta, and I tend to agree. I think they know that you're using tools like Google and AppLovin and email. And they know that if you're measuring purely on last click and you realize the lack of incrementality of your efforts, you're going to just cut your ad spend. Like if you do incrementality tests, you're going to fire Common Thread or Andrew Ferris like tomorrow, because you're going to realize how little they do to actually grow your business. But it doesn't mean that Meta is bad. It just means you have to start seeing these other more effective marketing channels are only effective because of your Facebook ad spend. Your AppLovin money, your Google search money is a fraction of what it could be if you are running Facebook. And if you understand running Facebook ads and how it leads to those other channels, you're going to get a much better result. And that's how you need to be measuring things. It's a holistic environment. And again, the last click folks and the cost cappers are going to just continue to be chipped away at. Like the machine itself is basically saying, no, that doesn't work. They're at this point like flat earthers and vaccine, whatever. Like they're like saying it's the level of conspiracy and cult behind trying to protect a hack that destroys your business is going to go away. And I think this is also going to really impact affiliate marketers. So Understanding your new source of truth is really important. Incrementality is really important. It's the measure of business value. Basically, Facebook is saying, we know we're not the reason everything happens. We are the reason that everything you like occurs. We are the volume knob on the business. We are not the only reason that you see success. You can be really profitable on $100 spend or slightly less profitable on $10,000 spend per dollar spent. And remember the golden rule here. 100% profit on $100 is $100. 1% profit on $1 million is 10,000. You can either try to focus on being 1% profitability on $1 million or 100% profitability on 100. One of those will grow your business. The other one will stave off the inevitable death that is coming your way. So all that to be said, let's get back to this. Incrementality is really the new focus. We need to have a source of truth. You need to understand what the platform is doing to all the platforms. And this works on 3 different methods. One is rules-based attribution. The second is modeling. The third is MTA. If you notice, none of these are Northbeam. None of these is Hybros. None of these is bad tech designed to give you inactionable answers, designed to give you bad answers on inactionable data. And that's really, really important. So again, you're going to get all of these things for free by going to disruptorschool.com/meta summit. I'm here just to make it all work for you. Now, let's get to the next part of this, which is optimization. I think I realized this is going backwards, but who cares, right? We're all here together. Okay, awesome. So optimization has changed a lot. When it started, when I got into it, there was page likes and video views, or page likes and engagements and offer ads, which still use, but nobody has them. And then we got custom audiences and lookalikes and the conversion objective and lead ads, which I was in part of the alpha for, and catalog ads and conversions API, and then the Advantage Plus suite. They continue to evolve the way that the platform works. Come on, give me some mode. Cool. There we go. Sorry. It's I think my AC is being run by Google because that shit is not working right now. Got the Andrew Ferris and Common Thread Collective of air conditioning units. It's not making it any incrementally cooler. That's where we're going. Okay. To help guide your systems, you really need to tell the machine what KPIs you want to achieve, and you need to understand how to evaluate performance. So this is really cool. Now, the value optimization for profit is amazing. I'm so excited about this. Being able to say, this is how much the product costs, this is how much profit I make on this, and then being able to optimize the machine for GPT. That's coming. If you don't have it yet, it's coming very soon. You're also going to have value optimization for standard or custom events. And, of course, the value optimization for purchase, which is just trying to drive a higher AOV. Now, here's where I think the biggest, and I was even talking to people that were sitting next to me. I think this is the single biggest opportunity in the platform and is going to be the one that most people are going to wildly misunderstand. Incremental attribution is focused on showing your ads to people who would not have bought anyway. That's the pitch. The problem is that's not actually what's happening. Think of it like this. Standard attribution is going to get you as many sales as possible. Incremental attribution is going to get you as many new customers as possible. It is volume of transactions versus customer acquisition. That's the way that you need to be looking at this. And fun fact, if you throw cross controls against incremental attribution, your spend is basically going to go to zero, because you don't have data on that stuff. It's just not the way things work. It's not an incremental tool. So driving the points home here, I hope that we're all getting on it. When you start focusing on incremental attribution, which is basically CAC versus CPA, it's a different goal. It's going to work in a different part of the business. It probably shouldn't be the majority of your ad spend yet. And I'm currently doing a test right now where we are optimizing for the new customer conversion event and split testing that against the incremental attribution option. I think the incremental attribution option is going to lose today and it'll crush this time next year. The machine is just getting smarter and smarter. It's like ChatGPT or Claude. They have a language model, an LLM that is getting smarter with every decision, with every choice, and everything that's going on. And the more that the bad advertisers get squeezed out, the Taylor Holidays of the world get squeezed out, the more that the people who are actually good at their job, like everybody he wishes he had as a client, but we're never going to go with him because they want to actually be successful. The brands that are getting to 7, 8, 9 figures on a regular runway, the brands that are 2xing, 3xing every year, instead of saying 20% growth is like a win, they're all going to be a larger and larger percentage of the data set. The machine's going to get better and better at understanding how to show an ad to a new person to get them to buy. This tool only gets smarter. So if it doesn't work for you today, keep trying it. That's my best piece of advice. Now, they've got a lot of other in-house tools. Clearly, you know, when you want to measure this versus MTA, Adobe is there, Rockerbox is there, Triple Whale, North Beam, Triple Beam. There are a lot of options to then double check this stuff, and they may or may not have been sponsors of the event. I'll put it that way. So if your business strategy is equal to revenue plus incremental attribution, then this is really the way to go. Again, step-by-step guides for you. Everything you need to know, go to disruptorschool.com/MetaSummit if you want to get all of this data. Also down here, by the way, is the link to Disruptor School Academy. If you want to join the academy, we have classes every week. You get to talk to me. We have guest speakers as well. Nadeem with his profit clinic and Jared on creative direction. And Rio, just those are both MBA guides to give you incremental value above and beyond what I'm bringing. And we got a full course on there. We have full courses on there that are being updated as we speak, and a great community of hundreds of individuals. That place is continuing to grow. So check it out down there. It's a 7-day free trial, money back guarantee, and it's like if I can make you $3.50 a day, it's dumb to not do it. Hint, some people are making an extra 7 figures a month. You might as well join. All right, getting back to it. Maximize what matters. Let's get all your decks. Now, this is the data side of things. This is how AI is transforming the data. It is not just about a funny picture or a cool looking video or some text. AI is around the machine understanding who to show content to. It is trying, if you have high quality data, make sure that is defined as accurate and comprehensive. They are looking for phone calls, leads, chats, emails, purchases. That's being layered against creative variations, your 322 ads, and bid optimization, like letting the machine make the optimization choice instead of you telling it what to do. If you're using cost controls, you can't do bid optimization. Those are two diametrically opposed ideals. And audience targeting, again, that doesn't mean you putting in custom audiences. That means letting the machine define an audience for your creative. It is saying, these are the options you've given us with your creative variations. These are your 322 ads. We are going to do the bid optimizations for you, meaning you don't do cost controls to find your target audience, meaning you don't do lookalikes anymore, or like interest groups and all of that other stuff. Like, they're showing you on the deck, if you give us good data, we can do all the other stuff for you. Like, it is black and white, or gray and white. I don't know. It's not black. I'll give you that. It is definitely not black. It is gray. Anyway, high quality data versus and clearer signals. Like, this is what's really, really important. So you need to be using CAPI and pixels. You want to be setting high priority parameters to improve your match rates. If your match rates are below a 6, you definitely need to sign up for Aimers like right away. You can find that at disruptorschool.com/Aimers, AIMERCE. And send high priority parameters as well on a fresh update basis. Send it quickly. Now, if you're not using CAPI and pixel, do it right now. Like that is a tragically misguided approach if you're not using both of these things right now to make sure you get the best results in your business. It's not about sending more data. It's about sending the right data to the machine, right? So you got to prioritize sharing events in real time as much as you can and ensure a complete range of the ads. And again, I'm just of your data, and I'm just moving through these things quickly. I'm going to have more videos diving into this stuff. If you're watching this, if there's specific decks in here, specific topics you want me to cover in future videos, please drop it in the comment section down below. I'm putting together the videos I'm going to shoot for the rest of the summer, and I'm making requests from Facebook, for them to give me all more material so I can continue to give it to you guys for free. Ultimately, what this means is if you're improving what you're doing, you're going to get better results. And the interesting thing that I loved is they called out the people that were at the summit. The folks spending $1 million a day. The folks spending like $1 million a month. The quote unquote top advertisers that you see. By the way, folks like Taylor and Andrew weren't invited because that's what Facebook thinks of them. Fun fact. Now, what you're going to see out of this is even the people who are spending a lot, they were not as good as the top advertisers on the platform. Now, fun fact, this graph looks very different when it's disruptor school students, but the summit attendees were close, but not quite. If you look at the average person, it's not even close to this stuff. The people that are still running without conversions API or relying purely on cost controls or launching 1,000 ads a day, like they're not even close. And there are actual scorecards that you can get for all of that. And we're going to get to that here in a little bit as well. So improve the quality and reliability of your data, improve your match rate, and make sure that's passed back on a regular basis. Again, I'm just trying to help you get through some of these things. So getting into measuring what actually matters. This is how you scale through incrementality. This is actually the entire worksheet for you to get an incremental lift test done. All of the details. This is what the actual people working at Meta have to fill out to make sure that they are proving whether or not marketing efforts are incremental or not. And now you're going to have it also. So measuring what matters, scaling through this, that was the worksheet. This is the actual things that you need to take away. The incrementality. The understanding whether people were going to buy or not going to buy is really important. I also want to be very clear. If your CPMs are like $100, meaning it costs you $100 to reach 1,000 people, and your frequency is like a 1. If there were 100 sales that you were going to make today that you wasted money on by spending on those people, if you spent $100 at $100 CPM with 100 sales that are coming in, that's $10 wasted spent. While this is really interesting and fun and really like cool data, the impact of what this is on your business is a drop in the bucket. So just keep some context for this. These percentages are difficult. Now, this 35% of spend is wasted in non-incremental because 78% of advertisers are still using last click for investment decisions. Look, still using last click. The machine is telling you, you got to stop doing this. Like, show this slide right here to anyone running cost caps or any affiliate relying on last click, just to say, this is how much contempt the machine has for what you are trying to do, because everybody in the room knows that's not helpful. Now, I want you to know this too. 35% of spend being wasted on non-incremental sales doesn't mean that you're doing a bad job. It means the majority, it means 78 advertisers or 78% of advertisers are thinking about performance in the wrong way. And we're sadly still sitting in a spot where people are relying on cheat codes that don't actually grow the business to spend the majority of their money. That is a problem. And this is across $741 billion spent. Like, context, volume. Like, Charlie, hi. Yeah, come here, girl. Come here. Like, you just gotta understand the scope and scale of some of these things, right? So shifting behavior from limiting based on clicks to actual results could easily 2x your growth, at least 50%. Now, your incremental journey, these are like the path, right? This is how you go from what you're currently doing to how to be in a much better place. You can calibrate your MTA. Now, this is something I don't recommend people do. I'll say this. I think it's a good place to get started. I don't think this is something you do once and walk away. I think this is how you get started in something that if you're going to go with this calibration of a multi-touch attribution tool, you have to know that the answer, like North Beam, what they're giving you is objectively wrong. and you're going to have to always put a multiplier on it, and that multiplier is going to have to be updated on a weekly or monthly basis. Otherwise, it's completely useless. And my impression is if you know it's wrong, and when you get the data, you then have to do more math to try to put it into context, you probably just shouldn't be using the bad data to begin with. That's my take. Now, if you want to calibrate it, it shows you how to do all of that, calibrating your multimedia mix stuff as well. And this is how you can also talk to your meta reps on multi-cell studies. Again, this is the kind of stuff that I really want you to have. This is what the high-end marketers are looking at, and I'm giving it to you for free today. Now, optimizing for the outcomes that matter the most. Charlie, don't play with that. Here, you can play with these. Ready? Boom. Boom. Okay, there you go. Now, new tools, AI stuff. This is, again, not generative AI. Some of it is, but this is how they're using information to make better choices. Value optimizations for profit and purchase. We talked about this a bit earlier. I want to really bring us in on what the value optimization for purchase. If you're trying to maximize the return on your ad spend, it is not for people who optimize for cost per purchase. It is not for people who are trying to get the lowest CPA. It is not for people who are trying to use bidding models to get the cheapest cost per result. It is not for people who have a limited product catalog. It is also not for people that are trying to optimize for LTV. This is for people who are trying to optimize GPT, people who want to make a lot of money today. That's what it really matters about. Now, when you get to volume optimization for profit, take everything else you just said and then also say, if you do not have order level profit margin data, this won't work. It's also not great for people that are optimizing for subscriptions. And it makes no sense if profit is flat across all your purchases. But basically, you're going to be able to say, this is how much I sell the product for, and this is how much profit I make on that, optimized for the greatest gross profit per transaction. And you also get these value optimizations for non-purchases, which is being alpha tested in the leads world right now. So this will be great for lead gen, great for affiliates. This is excellent for a lot of really good people, especially if they have longer sales cycles. Test and learn, fun, 37% better. Sure. Now, value optimization, this is your actual roadmap to get through everything and the questions that you should be asking yourself. And remember, the incremental attribution option is showing ads to people who would not have otherwise made a purchase. It is new customer acquisition. It is not bringing the incrementality is growing the business, and that sale might not happen on Facebook. If you're going to adopt incremental attribution, you also have to accept that looking at the results on the platform has never been accurate. It has always been a liability, and the path for you to stay relevant is to accept that and move on. So if you begin to optimize for incremental results, you're going to get more net new customers in your business. Incremental attribution, this is more details on the tool. You don't have to wait right now. You can literally set it up right away. You can see how this is going to play out. You can measure and compare and understand the flywheel for delivery here. And there's a great fireside chat on that also. Now, taking charge of your performance. This one was a little odd on the washing machine, sprinklers, and doing taxes. It basically means these are all things that are done automatically now, and you don't need to do yourself. Fair enough. So with that in mind, how do we get the machine to do all of that? Now, I was part of the team that built the Power 5. I was part of the team that built the Performance 5. And now we're coming in the performance best practices, basically being adopted half the stuff I've been telling you to do for the last 5 years. Getting into it. You are going to get the opportunity score and the performance scorecard. Now, we've had a video talking about the opportunity score already, and you can check it out. It's basically consisting of 2 different elements that are proven, personalized, and prioritized efforts that are being made. Also, unlike Google, these are being updated. These are being tailored. And with every person who accepts some of these pieces of advice, when the machine sees it going well, it's going to suggest that happening to more people. This is something where, like all language models, it's going to get better and better and better and better and better over time. The AI is learning instead of just having engineers writing code. This is where the AI really begins to get fucking sexy. So you can leverage this opportunity score. I brought this to the table before. We have more videos on the channel for you to check that out. Now, you also have a more streamlined approach. We're not going to get into that. This is the thing that I want to really leave you with here, the performance scorecard. This is tracking down the opportunities that you have in your business. It is quantifying How much of your spend versus best practice is actually going into any individual part of your business? Whether you're using automated campaigns, where are you moving up the funnel? Are you moving to shop ads? What type of audiences are you using? Your bidding models, your creative, your placements, your signals. Like, are you opting into letting the machine do all of the work, or are you still trying to restrict the machine from making choices for you because you want to pay more money to have worse results? Like, bottom line is, the day of you being able to quantify your value of being smarter than the machine is done. The day of you being able to say, well, the result on the platform has value is done. You have to move beyond that, or the world's going to move beyond you. And that really brings us to the last word here, which is the Performance Marketing Summit was really fun. I really enjoyed it. I've got like 19 interviews that I'm waiting on getting final approval on, but I think I'm gonna push that agenda today. I have a great like fireside chat thing that I did with Dara Denny and with Ben Heath and Caleb Krause, Mr. Paid Social. That's going to be coming out very soon. I've also got more content where I'm going to basically be breaking down each one of these decks and the presentations from the machine, from the summit, so that you can know how I think you should be using the machine to see the best overall performance. I'll leave you with this. I've not been this excited about the future of the ads on the platform since 2018. I think currently today, we're sitting in a place where it requires less and less work to make more and more money on the platform. And the fact that they're listening to us in a way that they haven't been for years is incredible. I really appreciate it. And the fact that they are making low integrity operators, the fact that they are making their business efforts more and more difficult is great, as far as I'm concerned. I think the future is very bright. And I'll also mention this. I got to see, if you saw the press release where Zuck is like, in the future, all ads are going to be AI. Some of that is about the delivery of ads. Some of that is about the build of ads. What is on my shirt? Okay. I got to see what the AI ads look like, and they're pretty good. They're really good. So I'm very excited about all that stuff. I'm going to get back to editing this video. Stay tuned to the channel. I might just push this video out. We had a great interview that went out on Sunday that you all really ate up and enjoyed. So I might push this thing out on Sunday again. So subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more videos. We have more things coming out. Anyway, let me know out of all this stuff what you want me to dive into more, and I'll do it. So until next time, I'll see you on the internet. Let's get out of here, folks. See ya.